everybody, Roy Cruz here, and I'm here with my special guest, well, along with my next commentators, Clover and the third commentary. I give a warm welcome to Zone Troop as he's standing by with the pregame show.
Hey fellas, how are you doing?
Hey, it's great to see us here, and then this is our next part of the game here at game number 2, and day number 2. This is going to be a special night. Tonight's big night, and the matchup is about to start with our first afternoon game. You have Orlando Magic, and they're facing against the Boston Celtics at TD Garden Arena.
So one of the best teams I really have seen things before is one of our best 5. I say Jaylen Brown and Derek White and Jason Tatum, they're all definitely the best 5 group. That's for the starters, but they took everything.
And for this time, Orlando Magic are really looking to find out if they can get a win here in Boston. But Boston Celtics are one of the best teams here, looking to seek out if they can get a 2-0 score if they win. Well, as is being said right now, these are the only 2 of the matchups, as there is one play to make that one change anything. And with that one, you may have to figure it out who can definitely win it again.
Well, I'm going to say that the Magic might not be enough for them, but I have faith that the Celtics might win this one again. That's my take here for game number 2.
Well, I'm going to go with the Celtics anyway. I think that Jason Tatum's got pretty good at it. Alright, thanks guys. I made a little bit of a quick pick here. Game number 2 starts now as Mosley's the head coach for Orlando Magic. Corey Joseph, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. And the outside Boston Celtics, Joe Mosley is the head coach for the Boston Celtics. The our players we have is Jrue Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and KP, Kristaps Porzingis.
Alright everybody, are you ready for our next game? It's gonna be a fun one. We'll see you all later everybody for the post-game show.
Standing by, I have is Brian Anderson along with the 2K Sports crew and Ali LaForce standing in on the center court for tonight's game. Now, let's get started. Magic, Celtics, next on 2K Sports. 2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA playoffs.
And welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. In this game, we'll see the Boston Celtics going up against the Orlando Magic, joined by Coach Stan Van Gundy and Grant Hill. This is Brian Anderson. Ali LaForce is our reporter. So look at our starters for Orlando. Banchero and Carter Jr. make up the front court. On the wings, it's Caldwell Pope and Wagner, and it's Joseph in at the 1. And for the Celtics, the core of this team, Brown and Tatum in the front court, Holiday at the 1 with White at the 2, and it's Porzingis in at the center position. These teams like to get into the half-court stand. They like to play at their pace.
Yeah, and there's not many teams like that anymore, but it's all about the details and execution for these teams to maximize their possessions.
Outside Holiday. Tatum way outside.
JC for 3!
Tatum right off the pass. And here's Wagner. He'll bring it up for the Magic. It's a 3-point game. Outside, Caldwell Pope. Clock at 6.
Fouls on Boston.
In the act of
Jason Tatum.
2 free throws.
That's his first personal foul.
Every team
First
in the league
team
has
foul.
a player like Kentavious Caldwell Pope.
Shooting for Orlando. Kentavious Caldwell Pope.
Trying seems like a backhand
Taking 2 shots.
but not with KCP. He does both the 3 and the D at elite levels.
Always takes the toughest backcourt assignment and more than holds down his own. The first free throw is good. Well, after a decade of uncertainty, Magic fans now have a lot to cheer about.
This is the most optimism they've had around the team since the Dwight Howard era. And it centers around their young star, Paolo Banchero. He is going to be a force for a very long time.
He's perfect from the line this time. Stan, you look at the Celtics, as high-powered as they come offensively.
No question, Brian. They can space the floor at every position, and any one of their starters is able to give you 20 on a given night.
Pass to White.
Terrific placement on the bounce pass. Right where it needed to be.
Brown against Wagner. First quarter, just over a minute played. And Carroll against Tatum. And Carroll, no good.
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
I was able to talk to Joe Mazzulla for a minute. He said watching tape in preparation for this game, Wendell Carter just kept showing up. Whether it was on the boards, being in the right position defensively, or even stretching the floor at the offensive end. Carter makes a lot of plays that help his team. Brian?
Thanks for that, Allie. Now here's Wagner.
That's just a great excellent vision to see the open spot in the defense and lead him to the score.
Down low. Here's Holiday. The kick out to White. First quarter, just about 2 minutes in. Oh! There's the out!
Jason Tatum!
Position on the floor
Derek
and
White.
expecting the ball. Tatum knew his job and executed.
Here's Joseph. He's covered by Holiday. To the inside. And Wagner.
That's Wagner.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
Now here's White. Outside, Brown. Left side, Tatum. With a 9-footer. Yes!
Jason Tatum!
Sometimes you forget how long Tatum is, and he's terrific at using this to his advantage inside.
And Carroll outside. Yep, count it.
That kind of activity, it just makes things happen.
And so Holiday will bring it up to Boston Celtics. Right side, Tatum. Stolen by Carter. Pass to Wagner. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. The Celtics with the lead. White, the pass to Tatum. Rebounded by Joseph. For Orlando, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the opening quarter. Caldwell Pope shot is off. For Boston, they've gone 4 of 6 in the first quarter. And
One of the
Jason
tallest guys in the league. Give Porzingis the ball there and just let him work.
Brown against Wagner. Outside Carter. Back to Wagner. And he can't get that one. Brown with some nice D. Pass to Porzingis. Brown scanning the floor. And that one's good.
Porzingis!
Controlled by Porzingis.
Brown.
He sets a good pick and then rolls right into a scoring position.
Orlando calls
Time out Orlando!
What goes on in those huddles? We just get the snapshots.
Well, as a coach, you want to cover just 1 or 2 major points. That way guys can absorb it and go out and execute.
Somebody I gotta say down this one here, Glover, but Jason Tatum is one of our biggest veterans here from University of Duke. He really had shown what he was made out of it, but something that I have to tell you now that Jason Tatum is better to be a star, and because of this moment, his status has been turning out to be very well. Let's take a look at what happens with Jason Tatum. The last part of the game against Orlando was the first game. That was 17 points he had definitely made here in the first game. 8 out of 12 field goals, and then it was only 14 and 4 assists. He was never given over on anybody, and he really had to start things off to.
Well, I must say, Jason Tatum's really looked the biggest in the game. And I know that he was definitely with the 18th NBA title. That's because they won their championship. And I say, this is definitely a moment. It's like a lucky win.
Sure it is, there, Lucky. That's definitely what happens with Al. We just win it again, Clover.
I guess so. Maybe back to back.
Back to Brian.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Horford comes in for Kristaps Porzingis, and Pritchard is subbed in for White. Orlando making some changes. Now off the inbound, and he sinks the layup.
Oh, but that's it.
Quality find there by Isaac. It's really nice to see him watching the floor for opportunities like that.
Horford outside.
Warford!
Holiday's got 3
Drew
assists.
Holiday.
Harris against Holiday. Harris passes to Batante. Horford with some nice D. Boston leading by 5. And coach a perennial all-defense performer, Drew Holiday, fearsome at that end of the floor in particular.
Yeah, Brian, he's as good a defensive guard as there is. Great size and strength at the point guard spot. You combine that with his IQ and his competitive will, he is a problem on a nightly basis.
Now here's Tatum. He's got 7. Here's Brown. Played it.
Jaylen Brown!
Great athlete.
Jason
I
Tatum.
love to see him work inside.
Trying to find a spark here.
Yes, indeed. A rough stretch offensively. They could really use a basket.
Pass to Black. On the wing, Isaac.
2 minutes remaining first quarter. 2 minutes.
Lets it go. Brown with the block.
Great positioning and timing by Brown, using his athleticism to come away with the rejection.
Holiday passes to Pritchard. Over Anthony. This is off the left iron. Magic trail by 7. Harris outside. Kicks it out to Isaac. Oh, trying his luck from deep. The rebound by Jason Tatum. It's Tatum with the ball for the Boston Celtics. Pass to Pritchard. And here's Brown. 1:03 left to play in the first. Tatum with room to shoot. He can.
Jason Tatum!
When the defender isn't
Open
fighting
and Pritchard.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Now here's Anthony. He's scoreless. Pass to Isaac. Stop the drought. Shoots over Tatum.
Fouls on Celtics. Jason Tatum.
2 from the free throw line.
Second personal foul.
One on Tatum.
Second team
He's just so
foul.
fluid and mobile at his size.
Shooting for Orlando.
These shot fakes
Jonathan Isaac.
for defenders not to bite.
And the line, 2
First trip to the
shots.
line. No good on the free throw. And some changes here for the Celtics.
Changing into the Celtics, number 40, Luke Gordon. And number 30, Sam Hauser.
And the second free throw is good. 43 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Pritchard. It's Brown on the wing. Pass to Tatum. Brown inside. Working on Anthony.
Orlando foul.
Whistle on the way.
Goal
Headed to the line for a pair.
That's first personal foul.
Tricky
Reverse team foul.
inside, making
Orlando
sure
Boston.
it's the whistle
Jalen
and
Brown.
completes his motion.
Boston
Two
shooting
shots.
Initial free throws of the game here.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That one misses. Craig is checked in for Pritchard.
Checking in for the Celtics. Number 12, Torian Craig.
And no luck at the stripe this time. Second one won't fall.
There are so many different roles Jalen Brown can take on for his team.
Just 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Anthony feeling it out a bit. Here's Black, pounded by Tatum. Black, no good. It could go. That shot off the mark. And
That's the end of the first quarter.
finishing the quarter.
Boston Celtics
It's all due to the
19
ball in the paint.
and Orlando Magic 11.
More 2K action in just a moment. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter of action so far. All right, guys, some stats here. The scoring breakdown for Boston.
I have to applaud their ball movement. They're moving the ball around, finding the best looks they can, and keeping everyone involved.
And the other thing you notice is how determined they've been to get into the paint and get buckets around the rim.
Well, Stan, every franchise has their guy. What kind of things do you want your franchise player to exhibit?
Well, Brian, here's what people have to understand. The culture of your team is determined by your best player. If you want a hardworking, unselfish, competitive team, that best player, that franchise guy, has to embody those things.
White and Brown team up as the back.
Say Hauser.
And it's Hauser in at the small forward position. That's the Boston 5. Orlando with the ball. The Celtics making their last shot. Pass to De Silva. That one off the back iron and out. The Celtics lead by 10. Outside White. Tatum feeling it out a bit. And they recover it. Here's Hauser. Six on the shot clock. Back to Brown. Stolen by Carter. Caldwell Pope against Brown. Pass to De Silva. And it's blocked. They retain possession. There's 5 on the clock. Goes back up. And Caldwell Pope. Caldwell Pope's got 6. And it's Tatum with the ball for Boston. Here's Cornette. Out to the right wing. Here's Hauser. It's deflected. A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Jalen Brown is playing with so much confidence. He said, quote, I feel like I'm a different player. My body has changed. Athletically, I'm entering my prime. I'm more aware on defense and offense. I feel like on both sides of the ball, I'm playing the best basketball of my life.
Well, it shows, Allie, for sure. Now here's White. Outside Tatum. Beyond the arc. No, he's now 4 for 8 shooting.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Here's Black. That shot is off. Good work defensively by White. Boston leading by 8. Hauser passes to White to the middle. Here's Hauser. to White. Again, the miss by the Celtics. The Magic have gone 1 for 6 in the second quarter. Not great. Down low. Here's Banchero.
And this is why you must push Banchero.
Timeout. The Celtics.
Slam it all over you.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Let's give Coach credit. He's trying to find a way to squeeze the most out of every possession.
Well, that's the job, right? Your duty as a coach is to finesse your lineups so your guys get the best chance to succeed.
There's a lot of changes out there for us to succeed in this motion. This is what happens when you don't really play it oftenly. They gotta find their way through. Yeah, they're definitely not picking it off the space here. This speed is definitely not choosing the right way into the momentum. If they don't play it this way, they're gonna need to change that one up.
I totally agree. I mean, I thought they did really well, but this didn't really happen that much. They didn't get all the better certification, and they're really just all over it. I say Boston's definitely one of the better teams. You never know what's going to change up.
Boston going with almost an entirely new grouping. Porzingis is checked in for Cornette. Horford comes in for Jason Tatum. Drew Holiday is checked in for Jaylen Brown. And Pritchard is subbed in for Hauser. Porzingis finds White.
First stops for Porzingis.
Porzingis has great awareness and the ability to easily find the open man.
White against Wagner. Here's Joseph. Porzingis grabs the board. Porzingis has got 4 rebounds in the game. Back to White. Pass to Porzingis. Oh, here's White on the drive. Three-pointer Holiday.
With balance and good rhythm, Holiday serves as an effective catch-and-shoot player.
Wagner, the pass to Carter. The rebound, Celtics. Pass to White. Horford in the high post.
Down low. Good night. I mean, just too many moves from the vet.
Outside Carter. Here's the teardrop. They get the rebound. Oh, the block just stops it cold and takes possession. Pass to Pritchard. Light on the wing. The 3 is up. It's rebounded by Banchero. Magic trail by 13. Offensively, it's been a struggle for them.
Yeah, they need to string together some shots to have any kind of chance.
Here's Carter. Falls back and drains a fadeaway J.
I'm not sure why he faded away there. Sure looked like he had plenty of space.
Boston has gone 1 of 4 from three-point land here in the second. I'll say this, Banchero is a guy that opponents can't forget about for a second. And you see it in all the defensive attention he gets. Teams show him all kinds of different looks, and he draws a bunch of double teams in isolation. Here's Holiday. The basket.
Holiday!
One free throw coming his way.
Fouls on Orlando. Wendell Carter Jr. His first personal foul.
Boston shooting
First
their
team
third free throw
foul.
shot of the game. Craig is checked in for Boston.
For the line for the Celtics, Drew Holiday. And the line for 1 shot. Checking back on the court for the Celtics. Number 12, Torian Craig.
What's up?
All right, Craig, give it to us straight here.
Timeout, Magic.
Star treatment? What is that, B.A.? No, I think some players have a reputation which might help them on 50-50 calls. You could argue that some players have a reputation that hinders them on the 50-50 calls. So it really just all depends.
Orlando calls timeout.
Yeah, hoping to tap into something that'll get them quick.
Yeah, they just have to be more patient. Less forcing and more passing.
Well, there's a lot of boxing now, man. I just really need to stay down, man. They're really getting over this anyway. You just play them.
Indeed so. Don't forget, folks, we have our halftime show coming up for you. This will be underway on the other side. The show, Rudy Johnson, along with Cody Jen Smith and Shaq Rodino. Thank you guys for the support here in the first half for the Boston Celtics, 31-17. Looks like the Magic might need to start waking up a little bit more. Yeah, it's definitely like a little bit like changing out a little bit. They're fading a bit. Looks like they're going to have to get in the locker room, get back into work. As at this point, this will be the first half to show what's going on with Orlando and Boston. That will be the first half halftime show coming up after this. Now back over to Brian Anderson, and we'll be back with you shortly for the post-game show. Guys?
And so Anthony will bring it up for the Orlando Magic. They trail by 14. On the wing. This one for three. It's hauled in by White. And here's Boston. They're on a 10-2 run here. Outside Holiday.
2 minutes remaining in first half. 2 minutes.
Outside Holiday. Oh, plenty of contact.
Orlando foul. Fred's foul. No.
He'll take 2 free throws.
The score sports little foul.
Who plays with
Second team foul.
Holiday doesn't get to the line as
The
often.
line for Boston.
And he's going
Drew
1 for 1 in
Holiday.
the game so
And a
far.
line for 2.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
You know, one thing you gotta love about Drew Holiday is he's a true two-way player in this league. He puts in a lot of work to make a big impact on both sides of the floor.
Holiday hits them both.
We expect nothing less. He's generally been very good at the line.
Wagner, the pass to Harris. On the wing, Anthony. Defended by Craig. Oh, they get a hand on it. It's stolen by Holiday. Throws it up high. Oh, what a nice defensive play to disrupt the lob. Up ahead. And he's
Fouls on Boston. Dorian Craig.
Contact while he was going.
As the score sports little foul.
Craig.
First team foul.
Effort from Isaac inside the paint. Just
Line
refusing
Orlando.
to back off.
Jonathan Isaac.
And this will be a second trip to the free throw line.
2 shots.
First one falls for him.
I say now for Jonathan Isaac. I mean, he's just definitely how well he is. I mean, he's definitely doing great. Just playing out that hard, nothing really stands out. It's definitely the best win that he has ever been doing for. And make him feel good. Just anybody for a reason.
Both free throws good from Isaac. 1:24 left in the first half of basketball. White, the pass to Holiday. To the paint.
Drew Holiday.
He's got 6.
and just executing at a high level. I mean, taking what the defense allows and putting in the work.
Yeah, come on, they're just having their way out there and continuing to press you in.
Hello, Fitzatze. This is from Cole and Vinny.
His teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
Well, that's exactly what's needed when you're trying to turn things around.
Isaac with it. Picked up by Craig. Isaac's shot is off. The Celtics on offense. They're on a 14-6 run. Pritchard.
Hey,
Points
Pritchard!
in this one.
And put it on a platter. Holiday serving it up for his teammate.
9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Anthony. Boston with a rebound. Porzingis has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Pass to Pritchard. And here's Craig. Isaac covering. Craig passes to Pritchard. Now here's White. Over Wagner. Oh, he got it up in time.
That is it for the first half.
And so
Boston Celtics 37
16 points.
and Orlando Magic 21.
Talk about wanting to get the ball inside, but this is how you do it. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. It is bedlam here. The hometown crowd is loving that first half. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal and Gideon Jet Smith. It was all Jason Tatum in the first quarter. He had 9 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. And taking a look at the Celtics, Kenny, what did you see out there?
It's all inside. Shaq, I know you like this. And then guys are sacrificing their bodies, making the plays in the contest, just wearing the hard hat. That's how this game got out of hand.
Looking at Orlando, Shaq, your thoughts?
It's their defense that's put them in this spot. Giving up easy looks all over the place. But you don't have game plan in place. Check out the field goal percentage. Oh, that's not going to cut it. I don't even want to talk about it.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
You've been watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly in the second. One of the stories here, Jason Tatum. Man, is he getting it done today?
Can they come up with an answer for him coming out of the half? They have to change something defensively.
Yeah, I'd love to see what they drew up in the locker room because you're right. He's the problem right now.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the rout that it's threatening to be. So for Orlando right now, on the wings, it's Caldwell Pope and Wagner. Then Carroll and Carter Jr. make up the front court. And it's Joseph in at the point guard position. Now here's Ben Carroll. Wagner, he's open. It's hauled in by White.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better look. That's one he's got to knock down.
And coach, you look at Derek White, maybe not the biggest name, but he is a winning player.
Yeah, Brian, he's one of the most underrated players in the league. He's got a great feel for the game at both ends of the court. He is tremendously
Contagious
solid.
Caldwell Pope for 3.
Defensively, gotta close out a little faster. That's a look he'll make with regularity.
Tatum against Ben Carroll. Outside, Brown. Back to Tatum.
Jason Tatum!
Fearless on
Jalen Brown.
Went right through the contact.
Wagner on the wing. Uncovered. And the
Runs
jumper is on the
Wagner.
Wagner's gotten his second bucket. Celtics lead by 13. Pass to Brown. Back to Tatum. Hey!
Jason Tatum!
A capable scorer would be an understatement. He is an elite offensive talent.
And here's Caldwell Pope. A 3. No good there. with a steal. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Carter from outside. Holiday grabs the miss. And so Holiday will bring it up for the Celtics. Outside, Brown. Tatum against Carroll. Wagner with a steal. In transition, the Magic on the run. Joseph can't hit.
Textbook defense on display. That's exactly how you guard against the jump shot.
Well, good footwork, good assertiveness, able to put a ton of pressure on the shooter.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
This Magic team is making moves in the East. Star forward Paolo Banchero said, "We're a lot more competitive. We know we're talented. We can play with anybody, and we've proven it. Just one game at a time." Brian?
Gotta take that simple approach. A team on the rise, Allie. Thank you. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Wagner. Jaylen Brown with a rebound. Celtics lead by 15. Outside Porzingis. Tatum against Carter. Tatum passes to Brown. The kick to Tatum. From outside the arc.
GT for 3!
But this team relies on Tatum hitting those shots, and that's why he's such a high-volume three-point shooter.
Now here's Wagner. Here's Carter. And he drops in the
Wendell
layup.
Carter Jr.
The NBA
Assist marks to Contavious Caldwell
Celtics
Pope.
have gone 3 of 5 from the field in this third quarter. Holiday finds Tatum. Back to Holiday. Brown passes to Tatum. The shot won't fall. Magic trail by 16. For 3, Caldwell Pope. Porzingis grabs the board. Porzingis has got 9 rebounds now. On the wing, Holiday. And
Orlando foul.
head to the line.
Corey Joseph.
Head coach, you've been lauded by
His first personal foul.
for your pregame
First team
preparation.
foul.
I've seen it myself in the broadcasting.
Line from Boston Celtics. Drew Holiday.
Players
At the line with 2 shots.
Brian, people thought they were way too long, but I just wanted to be as prepared as possible and was one that always believed I'd rather do too much than too little.
And the first one at the line is good. Some changes.
Substitution for the Celtics.
For Porzingis.
Al Horford.
Comes in for Tatum. And it's Hauser in for White.
And Sam Hauser. And Luke Cornet.
Holiday hits them both. Magic trail by 18. Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
Here's Wagner. Got a piece of it. Here's Hauser. Pass to Cornet. Here's Hauser. Outside, Brown.
That was a good call.
Walking foul on the Magic. Anthony Black. His first personal foul. Second team foul.
Checking for Orlando.
Substitution for Orlando. Paul Anthony. And De Silva. And for Celtics, number 11, Peyton Pritchard.
And stolen by Anthony. Here's Black. He can't hit that time. Nice D from Brown. Boston leading by 18. Pass to Horford. Fades away. Caldwell Pope pulls it in. Orlando has gone 1 of 4 here in the third from range. Launches a 3. Rebound Boston. Cornet's got his 4th rebound in this one. Horford passes to Cornet. Here's Hauser. Gets himself.
Sam Hauser.
Celtics lead by 20.
Nice move to get inside and create a good look for himself.
Pass to Caldwell Pope. Launches it. And he stays with it. Here's De Silva. Some room here for Anthony. And another miss by Orlando. Here's Pritchard. He's covered by Caldwell Pope. And
Pritchard!
It's even worse.
Blue cornet.
He just waltzes down the
Blue
lane,
cornet.
extending their advantage. Not good.
Well, it's not going to get any easier if they can't improve their defensive intensity. They got to show some fight.
Nelson, De Silva.
One-handed stuff.
Assist, Cole
he's not going to
Anthony.
miss that.
2 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Horford outside. Pass to Pritchard. Now here's Brown. 6 to shoot. Fader on the way.
Tim Hauser
Here in the second
from
half,
Peyton Pritchard.
Found better shots. Yeah, they look really in sync after the break. Getting the shots they want and converting.
Oh, got a piece of it. They're running. Pull up jumper. Shot's good.
Anthony Black.
Here's Pritchard. We've got 1:13 left in the third. Pass to Cornette. Caldwell Pope against Brown. Here's Pritchard. Over Anthony. And it's Orlando with a rebound. There's 47 seconds left in the third. 2
Jeff
points.
Cole Anthony.
Anthony's got his first points of the game. Celtics lead by 18. Pritchard, the pass to Cornette. Back to Pritchard. Brown against Caldwell Pope. And he's going for the lob. It's a one-on-one situation. Lets the three fly. Gets the three.
Contagious Caldwell Pope for 3.
12 points in the game. Boston has gotten 3 of their 7 threes to find the net in this matchup. Horford passes to Pritchard. And here's Brown. There's the 3.
Jimmy for 3!
Exchanging buckets from downtown. That's been a staple of tonight.
That's the end of the third quarter. Boston Celtics 55 and Orlando Magic 37.
Boston Celtics, a sizable 18-point lead at the end of the period. Defense is setting the tone. We'll be back in a moment.
Just one more quarter to go, and Boston will stay alive in that game. Be back soon.
And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist to the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Well, it's one of the core parts of the game. Reading the defense and creating an easy bucket for your teammate. That is pretty.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. The tandem on the perimeter, White and Tatum. Kristaps Porzingis out there with
Craig
That's who's in the game
from
for the Celtics.
KP.
Assisted buckets. Every team wants them. They show you're running effective team offense.
Here's Black, following the bucket by Boston. Caldwell Pope, shot is off.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
Right side Tatum. Outside Holiday. Outside Tatum. Back to Holiday. Shot clock at 6. And the shot is good.
Big Holiday's agility makes him tough to contain. He just needs a little space to go to work.
Free throw line jumper. Black, no good. Celtics lead by 22. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. And here's Tatum. Porzingis passes to Tatum. Orlando with the rebound. Here's Black. And Caro outside. That one is off. For Boston, they've gone 2 of 3 to open the fourth quarter. Craig finds Holiday. Outside White. Pass to Tatum. Back to White.
Derek White!
Chance for one more in the basket.
Defensive foul in Orlando. Continues struggles with his first personal foul. First team foul.
All right, a moment to look at the score.
Line for Boston Celtics. Derek White. Line shooting one.
Just exceptional, and it's opened up the floor for them on numerous occasions.
Yeah, they've also worked at
Checking
pounding
in
the
for
ball
Orlando.
inside. They gave
Number
them
1,
5%
Jonathan Isaac.
all game.
Number 5,
It's paid
Bill
off.
Ventura. And number 22, Vince Wagner.
The Magic have gone 0 for 3 in this fourth. Not good.
Timeout
Don't
for
seem to be clicking
Orlando.
for them offensively.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to get back on track.
Orlando calls timeout. One of the stories here, Jason Tatum. Man, is he getting it done today?
Well, he's having his way inside, so they gotta figure it out. Time to talk it over.
There's a lot of things going on here. To talk things over, they really are just playing out that bad out there. But Boston, it's been a knockout to make a victory.
It's anything that happens. I mean, I gotta say now, Boston is really like the best team in the nation. Just saying. This is what happens. They have 18 banderships. And just like that, in the last postseason, my boys are never achieving my house too. I gotta say now, whatever you feel about that, it never makes anything feel good. There we go.
Special occasion today is here now. I mean, Boston Celtics are definitely one of our better teams to bring it on. Don't forget, folks, coming up, our next game will be on OKC Thunders as they'll take out against the Dallas Mavericks at Paycom Center for our second game of the matchup for Game 2 on OKC. It's going to be a little tightness on the game, but nothing stands a shot. It's going to be anything. That will be the next game coming up after this game. 3:30 is the start of the coverage, 4 p.m.
We're about 2 minutes into the fourth here. Harris is
Gary Harris from 3.
Defense gave him a little space, and he took advantage.
outside Tatum.
Jason Tatum!
See why he's a go-to guy for them. They trust in his ability to shoulder the offensive load.
Pass to Harris. Takes the three. To the left side wing. The three from Banchero. Austin pulls it in. Craig passes to Holiday. And a kick to Tatum. Here's the three.
JT for 3!
Just the second half.
Their offense has been unstoppable, just firing on all cylinders.
Well, clearly the defense has had no answer for them. Might be time to try something different.
White finds Tatum.
Jason Tatum!
What a
From Derek White.
Tatum finishing off a pretty alley-oop.
Joseph passes to Banchero. Here's Joseph. Harris on the wing. Orlando again missing. And here are the Celtics. They're on a 14-3 run. Porzingis passes to White. And he's going for the oop.
KP! Derek White.
As well.
Great example of how to build a lead and then sustain it. You win games on both ends of the floor.
Here's Banchero. And another miss by Orlando. And it's Tatum with the ball for the Celtics. They played a great fourth quarter defensively, allowing only 3 points. Fade away. The offensive rebound. On the wing, Tatum. Back to White. Out to Craig. 5 on the clock. Here's Tatum.
Jason Tatum!
25 points in the game.
What composure from Tatum. As the clock runs down, he stays calm and seeks out a shot.
And it's Wagner missing.
The other team just looks more in sync and is riding the momentum.
Their body language does not look good right now. They're deflated and unable to stop this run.
Orlando's gone 1 for 5 shooting from the arc here in the fourth. Harris misses. Boston's gotten 5 of their 9 attempts from deep to go. And Carroll against Tatum. Inside. And there's Tatum.
From Jason Tatum.
5 assists in the game. The Magic shooting 27% in today's game. Not good. Harris with it. Over Porzingis. Oh, it's blocked by Porzingis.
Great play by Porzingis. Love seeing the zinger engaged on D.
The Celtics shooting great. 62% for the field and continuing to get it done. Now here's Tatum. Holiday passes to Tatum. Over Harris. And it's Tatum missing.
Well, and even though he couldn't get that one to fall, that's a shot they want him taking.
To the inside. Oh, Ben!
Paul Bencho.
And everything
This is from
does is
Gary
with
Harris.
aggression.
And here's Boston. They're on a 20-5 run.
2 minutes of regulation. 2 minutes.
Holiday taking his time here. Pass to Tatum. Now here's Porzingis. Isaac covering. Here's Tatum. It's hauled in by Isaac. Isaac's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Wagner. And
Franz Wagner.
Nice jam.
This assist first goes to Jonathan
We
Isaac.
can call that bounce per ounce. Can't be denied. Pass to White. Craig inside. Guarded by Vaquero. That one goes
Dorian Craig.
in this quarter.
And you can see how scary this team can be when everything is clicking for them. Just a terrific performance for the Celtics.
Tonight they got everybody in on the scoring. Had nice passing, which led to good looks.
Just solid play by these guys.
And as it was happening, as it was building, you knew this was a monster game for Jason Tatum.
Well, offensively, they needed him to be aggressive, and he delivered. What a game.
Now here's Porzingis. Back to Tatum. Now Porzingis shoots from the block. Another one.
KP.
Leaving nothing to chance. This run is shutting the door on him.
Yeah, this run has poured a bucket of water onto any ember of a potential comeback.
Orlando foul. Jonathan Isaac. His first personal foul. Second team foul. The line for the Celtics. Derek White. The line for 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. Horford, he's checked in for Boston.
7 back in on the
Hauser
court.
comes in for Jason
Al
Tatum.
Horford. Luke Cornett. And Peyton Pritchard.
And he's good on the second. There's 38 seconds left in the final quarter. To the middle. Here's Carter. Count the bucket.
Wendell Carter Jr.
Place pass.
Assist by
In work.
Cole
Carter Jr. is a
Anthony.
lunch pail guy who just goes about his business.
Anthony against Holiday. Horford outside. Outside White. Pass to Holiday. And they'll turn it over.
Shot clock violation.
Shot clock
ball.
violation.
Orlando ball.
Moving on to the floor for the Celtics, Peyton Pritchard.
7 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Now here's Anthony.
And that's the ball game. Final score: Boston Celtics 80 and Orlando Magic 46.
And the energy in this building was awesome. The crowd was involved from the jump. Once they started to bring forward on, it was fun to see how it all came together.
And that about wraps it up. For Grant Hill, Stan Van Gundy, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson signing off. We'll see you next time.
All right, Brian, thank you so much. And what a game. 2 in a row for the Boston Celtics. They crushed out Orlando Magic, the 7th seed team, from the play-in tournament, and now they've definitely been locked out. Here's how they did with the total statistics. 61% for the field goals for Boston Celtics, 56% for the Boston Celtics three-pointers, then 70% for the free throws. 12 fast break points for Orlando Magic, and it was 50 points in the paint for Boston, with second chance points of 4, 18 bench points, 28 assists for Boston Celtics. 8 offensive rebounds for Orlando Magic, 39 defensive rebounds for Boston Celtics. 9 steals for Orlando Magic. That turned to be a little bit harder to take. And it was 5 blocks in a game for Boston Celtics. 4 turnovers for Orlando Magic. 3 team fouls was Boston. Then it was 6 dunks for Orlando. 36 biggest lead, and 16:56 was their time of possession for the Boston Celtics. They done really well. Now it's time to send it over to you guys for 3 stars. Over to you, Zone Trip. You start off. All right, thank you very much, everybody. As I start out for the 3rd star player of the game, as this one gives it a little bit of a tight range to start. Caldwell Pope has 12 points with 2 rebounds and 1 assist. He only had 4 out of 9 field goal range with 2 3-pointers, and he only had 1 dunk. That was just for 14 performances, and he just took it all. How about you, Roy, for number 2? Well, my number 2 spot's going to be Drew Holiday. He has 12 points in the game with only 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and only 3 out of 3 field goals. That definitely made it perfect enough for him to make the assists go to work. A 26 performance effort. That's what he did to make it clear. And you, Clover, you got your number 1 star.
That's right, I do have a number 1 star, and it goes to the player of the game, Jason Tatum. He has 25 points, just 7 rebounds, 6 assists, just 11 out of 20 field goals in the range, and he had 3 out of 5 3-pointers. It was just too much for him to do threes in every single step. 37 performance effort and 2 dunks by the alley-oop successful pass. Just 1 on the outside and the other one in the 4th. Just a well done to get through.
And that's going to do you for the first game. Stay tuned for the second game. We have the Thunders taking on against the Mavericks here at Paycom Center at OKC. Coverage starts at 4 p.m. Make sure to mark your calendars because the next game is on its way. Peace out for a while as the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. This is Roy Cruz, and along with Zoe Troop and Clover, thanks for joining us for the first game. We'll see you next time. Peace out for a while as the NBA playoffs on 2K25 dial. So long in Boston.
If you don't, somebody will.